Thursday night podcast. I've had a few people ask about it, said, hey, your week in review or your Friday one comes out after I already am in my car. I like listening to it on the drive, my commute. So doing what I do, I'm a man of the people. I am now taking time out of my Thursday night instead of my early Friday morning. I'm going to do Thursday night podcast, get it out so you guys have something to listen to in the car tomorrow, which would be this morning if you're listening to it on Friday morning. So you're welcome, fans and avid listeners, and just one guy who actually asked me to do it, British Steve. Anyways, welcome to 2 cents worth. It's your guy, Ryan DeFaber, with a D and a capital F. Go fuck yourself. I'm just kidding. I'm just looking at what I have written down here, so let me get going on here. So we're in 2019. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope it started off great for you. We are now into the 3rd day of it, so hopefully 2019 hasn't kicked you directly in the dick yet. We'll have ups and downs. That's what every year has. 2018, I'm sure it had ups and downs. You just focus on how you get through it day by day, right? For New Year's, we went over to the Chastains, and if you don't know who the Chastains are, then you haven't listened to this podcast. So go do yourself a favor and listen to some previous podcasts, because Matt's been on twice and his wife's been on once. And that's what you're going to have to do. We went to the Chastains, had a little get-together there, and then we came home, and the whole day I had said to Nolan that, the plan would be if he could stay up, we're going to try and get him to midnight. And I didn't think, he is a little determined little son of a bitch, so I think I knew he wanted to do it, and I thought he could have done it, and by about 10:30 he started fading, and he started doing the lying down on the couch and closing his eyes a little bit, and from there, though, he did it. At that point, by the time it was 10:30, I was like, you know what, this kid has stayed up. Let's just get him through the rest of the night. So I purposely kept him up and entertained him, and we watched surprisingly enough, on PBS, it was a Foo Fighters concert from the Acropolis in Greece, which was really cool. So we watched that. I jammed out with him. I sang the songs because I'm a fan of the Foo Fighters. I like their music, always have been. Dave Grohl's great musician, arguably one of the best. From Nirvana days to Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age, and every other band that he's a part of. So, so he did it. He stayed up till midnight, and it was pretty incredible. I was proud of him. He was exhausted, and that was our New Year's. Nothing really exciting. I had, I think, 3 beers. 3 or 4 beers, and that was it. And got home, didn't even have any more beers. I was so full so Matt ordered pizza from Jet Pizza, and he thought more people were coming to the house than what showed up. Some other people had some plans. And so we had an extra large and a large pizza. So I did my worst, but also by eating so much, but my best effort and tried to help him out as best as I could by eating. So I was full. So I got home, didn't drink. So I'm a loser, guys. It happens. Married, 2 kids. You're exhausted most of the time. You have to go sparingly. Plus, one of my goals this month for January is to not drink during the week. I really put it on hard for the last couple of weeks, and certainly seen the effects of it in my diet as well as how I look in the mirror. So I'm going to try and sort that shit up because I don't want to be a fat fuck, if you know what I'm saying. I'm getting a little loose tonight, guys. Again, no drinking. This is just me on a Thursday night. Kids are asleep. Lindsay's downstairs, and I'm up here in the studio, the old Bear's Den, recording the Thursday night podcast. Hey guys. What was I saying? Oh, I drink too much. I was drinking too much over the last couple of weeks, so I wanted to cut back. So, plus the night before, as I was saying, Sorry, someone just texted me. You probably could hear that. Sorry, I'm watching golf. The golf is back on, guys, and we're going to talk about it here later on. But I was watching a crazy shot by Mark Leishman. Just hit the cart path into the woods. I got to focus. I'm focusing. The night before New Year's, we went to the Abbott Brothers with a group of friends. I mentioned in early episodes, buddy of ours, Jacko, he'll come on and do a pod hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But it was for my buddy Preston's birthday, so we went out. Preston, my buddy Ben, buddy Daniel, his wife Catherine, Lindsay and I, Preston's girlfriend Zan. I got to make sure I represent her. I got yelled at after my first podcast by not mentioning her. And Jacko. And we had a good time. We went to see the Abbott Brothers, little folk band. They're out of Concord, North Carolina, but pretty popular little band. It was fun. Had a good time. But like I was saying, trying to cut back on the drinking. Of course, went drinking heavy that night. And kudos to Lindsay and I. We stayed out till 12:15, and then the next night we're up till 12 as well. So, we acted like adults for a couple days ago. But we're back on track now. Last night back in bed by 8:30. Gym 4 o'clock. Skipped the gym on Monday morning. So on Sunday is when we went to the concert. I had to skip the gym on Monday morning. I was so exhausted. So I let my buddy Pete down, but he got a workout in, and I'm back on track. Worked out the last couple of days, so we're fine. So we did that Sunday. As well on Sunday, we had the Panthers game. Panthers won, which dropped us from a top 10 pick to 16th. So we'll see how that works out in the draft for us. And the playoffs are set. So playoff football starts this week. I have the games up starting on Saturday. First game is 4:30. It's Indy at Houston. I'll give you my prediction on that one. I think as good as Houston is, and especially at home, I like Indianapolis. I like how Luck has played all year. I think he's arguably your MVP. Patrick Mahomes is going to win the MVP, but I think Andrew Luck certainly did a lot with the tools that he had around him and had a hell of a year. So Indy and Houston. Seattle, Dallas, at Dallas, 8:15. I think Dallas wins that, even though Seattle's been playing awesome. And they beat the Panthers in a hell of a game. I think Dallas has that. They're playing really good. They have a good system in place right now, and I think they're fine. Sunday, Chargers in Baltimore. Now, this is an interesting one because it's at Baltimore, and I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but if it's anything like it's been out here, it's going to be rainy. And can the Chargers play in the rain and potential cold because it is Baltimore? And can they stop Lamar Jackson? I don't know. I'm going to say the Chargers because I feel like the Chargers are arguably the best team in the AFC. But Baltimore, I think, could do it. I think they could do it. And then the 4:40 game on Sunday, Chicago versus Philly. I'm going to go Chicago. I think the Bears have too much on both sides of the ball for Philly to really do anything. And then on what they call Black Monday for the NFL, if any of you weren't aware, they call it the Black Monday because it's the Monday after the last regular season game, which means on average 7 head coaching jobs become available. And this year, it's 7 head coaching jobs as of right now. You have the Bengals, Cardinals. I'm counting them on my hand because I'm going to forget. Bengals, Cardinals, Packers, Dolphins, Tampa, Browns. Shit. I told you I was going to forget. I got 6. Who's the 7th team? Broncos. Broncos are 7. If I forgot a team, just let me know. I can't remember. So it should be interesting to see what happens in the NFL as we go through the playoffs. And interviews have already started happening. I've seen some college coaches being interviewed, some NFL coaches. Love to know what you guys think is the best job out there. I've been watching a lot, and a lot of them are saying the Browns. The Browns is the best job out there because of what they were able to do after Hugh Jackson got fired and how they turned the season around and the talent that they have on both sides of the football. So that's what they're saying. The Browns are the best team, or best opening, possibly. The dog just ran in here, sitting down on my lap. Hey, buddy. What else did we get accomplished before we had to get back to work? Coffee table got finished, so if you've been following on Instagram, the coffee table. Operation Coffee Table has been complete. Looks good. Fills in the room nicely. I think overall good job. I haven't heard any complaints from the Peanut Gallery, so I think it's pretty good. And then also this week for the podcast, I reached 1,000 downloads. So that's a milestone for me. Again, as I started this basically the beginning of November, I never really thought that, one, how consistent I was going to be with it, and then I'll do it once a week or once every 2 weeks, and now it's become twice a week on average, except for last week I only did one because I did a combined one. But 1,000 downloads, and added a couple downloads from countries over the last week or so. India had a download. Bahrain had a download in the Middle East and in the Persian Gulf area. I'm trying to think of any other ones. Hong Kong downloaded a couple weeks ago. Japan. New Zealand still downloading. Spain, Sweden, Ireland, UK, Mexico. But pretty cool from an international perspective. And then just also seeing like all the downloads that I've had over the U.S. and, the states that people have caught on and been listening to. Again, I think I mentioned it a few times. I have a lot of downloads out of California, and I don't believe, unless I'm wrong, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Send me a message on Instagram if we're friends in California and you live out there. Because if so, then we might have to do a trip or something. Because I need to get out to California, maybe this year or next. I mentioned it on Sunday's podcast that I definitely want to get out and play Goat Hill Park in Oceanside, California. So if I can make that happen this year, that would be fantastic. So I'm going to do things just a little different today. Usually it's a week in review. That was kind of what's been going on. There hasn't been too much. The kids went back to school today, which was great. Get some silence around the house, get some work done, like actual work, and not have to worry about the kids coming home, or we're going to get them from my parents' house or whatnot. So that's nice. But let's see here. Let's go through some things that are going on starting the year off for 2019. Let's see. Well, like I said, golf started up again, so let's talk about that. I got golf on right now. It's live. It's in Hawaii. It's the Tournament of Champions. So anybody that won a tournament last year plays in this tournament. It basically starts the calendar year. Even though the 2019 calendar year already started, it basically starts right after the Ryder Cup. They have tournaments that count for the Cup points towards the end of the year. But and a lot of people say the golf season really doesn't start until the Masters, which is arguably true. But except for this year, the Players is in March. They changed the whole schedule up. So I would say the Players. Once the Players goes, then I think the golf season truly gets firing on all cylinders. But right now they're in Hawaii, and I'm watching it. They're in Hawaii for the next 2 weeks, which is nice. And then they do their California swing. They got a tournament in Phoenix, and then a couple more in California, and then they go into Florida, and then a couple tournaments in Texas, and then it's the Masters. So the Masters will be here before you know it. I saw on Instagram the other day it was like 100 days until the Masters, which is kind of crazy, really. Really, if you think about it, it's 3 months. And everybody, you think of golf as like a spring and summer sport. So again, it's that part of the year where, yeah, it's cold and it is the winter, but you're starting to get traction with your spring and summer sports. We'll get into baseball here in a little bit, but you got golf going on in Hawaii, and with that, I have Golf Digests. Sorry, I had to grab my computer. Golf Digests, they put out every year the top 100 U.S. golf courses. And so I figured we could go through that. You know, we're 15 minutes in. Golf is on. I'm in a golfing mood. We'll go through that. We'll talk about, we'll finish up with some baseball updates, some free agent signings, and what's been going on with Machado and Harper. And then if there's anything else that I can think of, we'll go through that. Maybe I talk about some of the stuff that I do for the gym, apparel, accessories, whatever. If you guys are interested in that, we can go through that if we got the time. I don't know if we'll have time. We'll figure it out. All right. So sit back and relax, people. If you don't like golf, now's the time to turn this thing off, because we're going to go through 100 fucking courses, so it might take a while. 100. Lindsay just walked in and rolled her eyes at me. No one invited you in here. I'm just kidding. I actually did invite her in here, and now she's just sitting there doing work because she's boring. Mayakama Golf Club in Santa Rosa, California. Jack Nicklaus design 2001 is number 100. Number 200, really? My God, I'm stupid. Number 99, Crooked Stick Golf Club in Carmel, Indiana. Pete Dye, 2008. Originally 1967, then he redesigned it in 2008. You got one close to my house here. Number 98, Old Town Club in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Originally designed by Perry Maxwell in 1939. And then Bill Moore and Ben Crenshaw, Core and Crenshaw redesigned it in 2013. 97, Black Wolf Run, the River Course, Kohler, Wisconsin, Pete Dye. 96, the Preserve Golf Club, Carmel, California. Now I know Carmel, Indiana, and then Carmel, California, even though it's spelled the same. Tom Fazio design back in 2000. Well, here's another one close to my house. Yemen's Hall Club in Charleston, South Carolina. Seth Rayner and Charles Banks, 1926, redesigned by Jim Urbina in 2016. Rich Harvest Links, 94. Sugar Grove, Illinois. Jerry Rich and Greg Martin, 1999. Jerry Rich redesigned it in 2012. I mean, I don't know how exciting this is. I might stop. We'll do the bottom 10 and we'll do the top 10. How about we do that? Right? Nobody wants to sit here and listen to me fucking ramble off golf courses that half of you have never heard of, nor half of you will ever play, including myself. So we'll go to 90 here in a minute. So 93, Spring Hill Golf Club. No, not Spring Hill, Florida, where my wife is from. Spring Hill Golf Club. Wazata, Minnesota, Tom Fazio. That's number 93. 92 is Double Eagle Club in Galena, Ohio. Jay Morrish and Tom Weiskopf in 1992. 91, the Golf Club at Black Rock, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Jim Eng in 2003. 90, Diamond Creek, another one near my house. Diamond Creek Golf Club, Banner Elk, North Carolina, Tom Fazio, 2003. All right, so those are your bottom 10. Look, if you want to listen, if you want to go and see this entire list, just go to golfdigest.com, and right on their homepage is the America's 100 Greatest Golf Courses. You can go check it out yourself. You don't need me to fucking ramble these things off for you. All right, so even though I'm still going to ramble off the top 10. All right, top 10. Here we go. Number 10, Fisher's Island Club, Fisher's Island, New York. Seth Rayner and Charles Banks. I actually have and Gil Hans actually redesigned it in 2000. I actually have a friend, Wyatt, and Wyatt, if you're listening, he actually got to play this course. So congratulations to you. You get to play a top 10 course in the country. Don't you feel special? Number 9 is Sandhills Golf Club. Number 8, National Links of America, Southampton, New York. And if I'm not mistaken, I have another friend that played this course, another couple friends, Mr. Paul Bennett and a couple of coworkers, Alex French and Dave Peroni and Eric Knutson, I believe, all played that course. Number 8 in the country. Number 7, Pebble Beach. I don't need to say any more about that. If you don't know Pebble Beach, you don't know golf. Marion Golf Club. That's number 6. Number 5 is Oakmont. Rest in peace, Arnie. Shinnecock Hills is number 4. I mean, these are all places that the U.S. Open basically is at. U.S. Open and PGA. Cypress Point, again, Pebble Beach, Cypress Point. If you don't know them, I don't know why you've listened this long. Number 2, Augusta. And number 1, according to Golf Digest, very prestigious club, not many get to play it, is Pine Valley in Pine Valley, New Jersey. George Crump and H.S. Colt in 1918, and then Tom Fazio was part of the redesign in 2017. There you go, people. There are 20 of the 100 top golf courses in the United States. I hope you enjoyed that segment as much as I did. All right, let's bounce into what's going on in Major League Baseball, because I've said it before and I will say it again. I will try and get baseball into every single podcast. And again, Lindsay rolls her eyes and bounces her head. And I'm just the dummy over here with the microphone. I'm just the big bald dummy over here in the corner with a shaking dog next to me, who slept all day, ate, shit and pissed, and is now sleeping again. To be a dog is a tough life. That's why they say it's a dog's life. All right, Major League Baseball. Here's what's going on. For my New York Yankees, we added veteran shortstop Troy Tulowitzki. Read a couple things about that. Why did we do it? There is this one area where people are fearing that it was the way that the Yankees were basically saying that we might be priced out of the Machado deal. I think it's more so for insurance purposes. You got Didi who's hurt. You need a proven shortstop that can probably act as a backup to Machado. I think Machado, again, it's the Phillies, White Sox, and Yankees. And unless there's some surprise team, those are the 3 teams he's met with that he's expecting offers from. And I think we're still going to get him because he wants to go and play for a team that's going to win. And I think the White Sox are years away from winning, and I think the Phillies are years away from winning, while the Yankees are ready to win now. So I think it was just insurance. Have another infielder that is proven that you can put out there when Machado, needs a rest or late in the game, a defensive placement, whatever it is. So we went with him. The Japanese pitcher, Kikuchi, there's a lot made of him. He signed with the Mariners. I'm not surprised about that. If you follow baseball for as long as I have, the Mariners do a good job of courting Japanese players because of, I'd say, the city, the culture, and how close it is to Japan, really, from for a fan base too, and media perspective. The Phillies signed David Robertson from the Yankees, so they're strengthening their bullpen, signed a 2-year deal. So with that, the Yankees have turned around. They're going to work on signing Zach Britton, who's a reliever for us that we got from the Orioles. So I think that's a good move. He came up with the Yankees, went to the White Sox, came back to us. He's getting up there a little bit in age, especially for a reliever. So I'm okay with him moving on. Let's see if there was anybody else this past week that is signed. I think that's about it. We're still waiting on Machado and Harper, and I think once those two sign, I think it's going to kind of set off the rest of free agency. But I do know that the White Sox have put out an offer to Machado. So it'll be interesting now that the White Sox have done that. Are the Phillies and the Yankees going to follow up in the next day or so, or is it going to be the next week? Because I do remember when he visited all three teams, he said he was going to make a decision in the beginning of the year. And what has also been said is that Bryce Harper is waiting for Machado to make his decision before he makes his decision, because they are being courted by the same teams. You know, the Phillies and the White Sox are courting both of those players. I don't think the Yankees are in for Harper. I think they were only in for Machado. Could be wrong. But I do know also the Nationals are still in talks with Harper. So I think if Machado picks the White Sox or the Phillies, I think one of those teams would be out then for Harper because they just wouldn't have the money. I don't believe either one of those teams is going to be able to sign both of those guys for 10 years, $300 million plus. It's just not going to happen. So be interested to see where Machado lands. I still think the Yankees should be the favorite to land him, but you just don't know. So he got an official offer from the White Sox today, so it should be interesting to see what where that goes. And I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Let me know where you guys think Machado and Harper are going to sign. That's just my opinion. It's my 2 cents worth. Let's see. What do I have on my list here? Might be a short one tonight. I mean, you know, like I said, Thursday night podcast. It could only be 30 minutes. I don't mind it being 30 minutes, maybe 40. We'll see if I can still, go on for another 15 minutes. We're only about 26 minutes in. Let's see what else is going on in the world. In soccer, Manchester City beat Liverpool today, 2-1. Liverpool leads the Premier League, but now are only up 4 points on City, who was the champions last year. Are they up 4 on City? Yeah, 54 and 50. 54 points to 50. Let's see. Let's go to the Premier League table. Yeah, there it is. Liverpool, 17 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss, 54 points through 21 games. Manchester City is 16 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses, 50 points. Tottenham, my boy Steve's team, the Hotspurs, 21 games, 16 wins, 0 draws, 5 losses. They're at 48 points. And then to round out the top 4, it's Chelsea, 21 games. They've played 13 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses. They're sitting at 44. And then you have Arsenal and then my team, Manchester United, making a comeback. We've won 4 straight after firing Jose Mourinho, the joke that he had become for us. I'll say it. Nobody's listening to me from a Manchester United perspective, so I think he was a joke. He should have been fired a long time ago, and now we're seeing the effects of that. 4 games, a lot of goals. The team looks way more freeing, running, and just looks like a completely different team than when they were under him. So it's been all positive. All positive. NCAA football this weekend. No, Monday. Monday you have the national championship. Clemson and Alabama. I almost said Auburn. I'm not even drinking. I even said that earlier. I haven't even been drinking. I'm tired. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I did mention that we stayed up 2 nights in a row to midnight. We acted like adults. First time in a long time. No, national championship, Clemson and Alabama. Who you got? Let me know. And the fucking dog is twitching like a. Calm down, dude. Jesus, you need to put a hole through the couch. Yeah, that's on Monday, and all the bowl games are done. And I thought it was a pretty good bowl season. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that there's nobody in the stands in half these games, and I got asked, well, what's your solution on that? I still haven't come up with a solution, so Thomas, I'm sorry, because I know you're listening. I haven't come up with a solution. What would be a better way of doing it? I don't know. I mean, it could be getting them in smaller stadiums, especially for games that aren't going to have these two. You're going to have power conference teams playing, but I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. I mean, the last thing I think any college team wants to do is to go and play at a small stadium, especially if their home stadiums are bigger than the stadium they're going to go and play in, especially for a bowl game. But it's I get it. The money is there because of sponsorships and the TV and everything, but it just looks bad on TV when you show a stadium and it's a 70, 60,000, 50,000 seat stadium and there's 10,000 fans there. Like, it looks empty, and I don't know. I mean, you get all these games, they just don't mean anything. And I think that's the big problem too, is that they don't mean anything, so a lot of these fans won't go to the games. They'd rather go to a home game than they would travel and watch their team play in a bowl game against a team that might never play again. So, I don't know, but bowl season was pretty good. I thought there was a lot of good games out there. I enjoyed all of them except for Clemson's thrashing of Notre Dame. That was by far the most depressing day, and it had to have happened towards the end of the year. So, it didn't really end the year on a great note in football way, especially when the Panthers won. And I've been complaining for the last 7 weeks that the Panthers haven't won a game. And we win a fucking game, and at the one time I wanted them to lose because we could get a top 10 pick in the draft, we win, and like I mentioned earlier, bump ourselves back to 16, and just infuriating. Not that you ever want your team to lose, but when it means nothing, and it meant nothing to the Saints. I think the Saints brought some people in from the stands and had them put uniforms on because they look like complete dog shit. And it looked like some of their guys had never played football before in their lives, but yet they're the number one seed in the NFC. So meant nothing to them. We go in there with a third-string quarterback who gets hurt, so then we have a fourth-string quarterback and we win. Maddening. Absolutely maddening. I have ESPN up, so let's just look through some stuff. NBA, sure. Why the hell not? I couldn't even tell you what the hell's going on in the NBA. I think the Hornets are... Huh? LeBron is hurt? Yeah, I know LeBron's hurt, but he's only had a couple games.
I think that's the biggest news they got.
The biggest news. Lindsay says that's the biggest news the NBA has right now is LeBron is hurt. Let's look at the standings. Oh, you know what I did see, though, is that people are saying now Milwaukee, the team that everyone slept on, it's Boston, it's Toronto, it's the Sixers. They're the best teams in the East. Milwaukee Bucks, best record in the East right now. Who would have thought? The Milwaukee Bucks. My Hornets. I haven't been to a game. I think I've gone to 2 games in 19 years that I've lived here. One was when they were the Bobcats. And the first one was when the Hornets used to play at the old Coliseum, which is no longer around anymore. We blew that thing up. Hornets 18-19, but sitting in a playoff spot right now at 7th. That's how bad the East is. The East, their 7th and 8th teams are under 500 and yet are in currently, they would make the playoffs. If the playoffs started today, the Charlotte Hornets would play the Toronto Raptors. And let me tell you, we would get the shit kicked out of us. Kemba Walker, great player. The rest of our team, I couldn't tell you who we have. I know we have some clunky, big white guys because I see them walking around downtown every once in a while. The Zeller kid and Frank, the kid from Wisconsin. His first name's Frank. I can't even tell you what his last name is. Other than that, I'm not an NBA fan, so I couldn't really tell you what's going on. But that's what's going on in the East. You got the Bucks, first place. In the West, the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are in first place. Again, couldn't tell you one person that plays on that team. Golden State Warriors sitting in second. And the Lakers. So if the playoffs started today, Lindsay, we were talking about the Lakers, LeBron. If the playoffs started today, Golden State would play San Antonio and the Denver Nuggets would host the Los Angeles Lakers. Very interesting. Lakers are 21-17, and they're sitting in 8th, and the 8th place team in the East is 17-19. So again, it just shows you the difference between the two divisions. The East for years has been down compared to the West. The West is by far the better league, top to bottom. So what did I say? 17-19, right? The Minnesota Timberwolves are third from the bottom in the West, and they're 17-21. Third from the bottom. Like, there's only 2 other teams below them, yet that record would almost put them in the playoffs in the East.
Well, it's like the AL NL. All the talk that you say about that.
Oh, don't get me started with baseball. We're going to hockey. Who's a hockey fan out there? Ricochet. It ricochets off the board. Have you ever? It's a guy on NBC. I can't even tell you his name, but he says ricochet, and it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard. So that's all Lindsay and I ever say when we watch hockey. It's a ricochet. Let's go into hockey. I've actually been watching more hockey because there's really not a lot on. This is exciting that I have golf on right now, and they're in Hawaii and it's live and it's the middle of the afternoon and it's 8:30 my time right now. Standings for hockey. If anyone's a hockey fan, let me know. Again, growing up in Rhode Island, hockey fan. Moved down here to North Carolina, not a priority. Not something that you really follow anymore. In the Atlantic, or no, let's just do the conferences. I'm not doing these fucking divisions. All right. My in-laws and brother-in-law team and Lindsay's team. I could say Lindsay's team because you root for them. Tampa Bay Lightning, first place, 64 points. They are 10 points above the second place Toronto Maple Leafs in the East. Yep. 40 games played, 31-7-2. I don't get the whole. There's points. You get points for an overtime loss. It's a stat. Wins 31, 7 losses, 2 overtime losses. Do you get like a point? Because there's no ties anymore?
I guess so.
That's
So 2 points versus 1 point?
if somebody can tell me how that works,
Here, I'll Google it.
stat lady, Google it. Yeah, so Tampa, Toronto, Capitals, Pittsburgh Penguins, Columbus Blue Jackets, that's 5. 6 is Boston Bruins, 7 is the Buffalo Sabres, and 8 is the Montreal Canadiens. If the playoffs start today, it would be the Canadiens playing the Lightning. What? What's the stat?
Points. So for winning a game, a team always earns 2 points.
Win a game, you get 2 points.
If it's in regulation or overtime.
Regulation or overtime, if you win a game, you get 2 points.
There are no ties.
No ties anymore.
So
A loss gets you 0 points. What's an overtime loss get you?
1 point.
1 point. So it's a tie basically. Though the winning team would get 2 points still in that situation, the losing team still gets a point.
Yeah, so it makes it so that when a team loses in overtime, they shall earn 1 point for making it to overtime.
So they get an award. They get awarded for making it to overtime even though they lost. Doesn't that sound like sports nowadays? Congratulations, you got a participation trophy even though you fucking lost. In the West, let's move to the West, people. The Calgary Flames, Winnipeg Jets, Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights must be the real deal because as an expansion team last year, they made the Stanley Cup Finals, and this year they're sitting in third in the West. You would have thought maybe they would have dropped off, but they're sitting third in the West. That's surprising. I'm surprised. San Jose's fourth. Nashville is fifth. Dallas Stars sixth. Avalanche seventh. And the Anaheim Ducks eighth. Yeah, let me see if there's any surprises on here. I couldn't tell you. All the teams look surprising. Oh, I think we've covered everything. I think we did it. What else happened in sports this week, Lindsay? Bowl games are done. National championship is set. And NFL playoffs are set. Golf has started. I talked about the Black Monday, seven coaching vacancies. Golf has started. Baseball free agent signings are still going on, and it's going to heat up now that we're getting into basically 6 weeks from pitchers and catchers showing up for spring training. Talked NBA, surprisingly. I talked soccer. I talked college football. I didn't talk about college basketball. What's going on in college basketball? It's been kind of quiet. There's been games on, but number 2 Michigan's playing right now, playing Penn State. I think Duke plays on Saturday. Duke's still ranked number 1 in the country. Carolina, for those of you in the North and South Carolina area, the Tar Heels played last night. Let's see. AP top 25. I'll give you the top 10. The rest of it you can look at yourself. Duke's number 1, Michigan number 2, Tennessee number 3, Virginia 4, Kansas 5, Nevada 6, Gonzaga 7, Michigan State 8, Florida State is 9, Virginia Tech is 10. That's impressive for the ACC. 4 teams in the top 10 in the AP. Duke, Virginia, Florida State, Virginia Tech. That doesn't include Carolina. Carolina's ranked 15th. NC State, 18th. ACC, dominating basketball again. Let's see what happens for a national championship, though. That's what really matters. Top to bottom conference-wise doesn't really mean shit when you don't win championships, which they do, but they didn't last year. Villanova did. Villanova, as far as if I remember, isn't even ranked. Let's see, are they even getting... I don't even think they're getting... Oh, no, they got 43 votes to be ranked again this past week. But they went on a big losing streak for a while. I watched them over... No, it was when your parents were in town. Lindsay's parents were in town early December for Nolan's birthday. We watched them lose to Kansas. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, see? I rambled on for another 15, 16 minutes.
What's your prediction for Monday?
My prediction for Monday? Let's bring it home, Clemson. Let's go Tigers. 35-31. Clemson. Clemson's got a hell of a defense, but I think Alabama's offense is going to push them to the limit. I think they're going to give up a lot of points. 35-31, which really isn't that much in college football. Yeah. I did say I was going to talk about workout stuff. I guess I can talk about it real quick if you guys want to know. So from a supplements perspective, I use RSP Nutrition. And actually my guest on Sunday is Melissa McCurry, and she is a representative for RSP and was actually the first person hired by RSP outside of the founders. So her Instagram is fitfirstlady_RSP. She'll be on my podcast on Sunday. We're doing a giveaway. She has it up on her Instagram, so go visit that. Get your name in there. It's a giveaway for some AminoLean, which is one of their supplements. And then also go follow her. She does workout plans, nutrition plans. It was really, really cool to have her come by and have a conversation about the industry, how she got into it, and the things that are going on with her company, RSP, as well as just herself in general and how she stays fit. And we talked about a lot on that podcast. So tune in on Sunday when that comes out. But for my supplements, I use RSP for everything. And again, the conversation on Sunday kind of explains that, so I'm not going to go into great detail. For apparel, for working out, I don't wear anything other than Miles Apparel shorts. Go and check out Miles Apparel, MYLES apparel.com. I've been wearing their shorts for 2 or 3 years now, and I wear them basically to do everything. Workout, run, hang out, lounge, summer. You can wear them to golf if you want. I mean, they're great shorts, and my favorite part about them is their liner in their pockets. It's like this cool little webbing that like is stretchy and everything, and it's not like, and I say that, and it's like, this cool webbing. Every basic short has it, but the way that it works, it basically will hold your phone in place. So I can go on 6-7 mile runs, which I don't, but I could. But anytime I go on a run in general, my phone never moves basically off of my leg or my hip, where if you wear other shorts, your phone's bouncing around all in your shorts, and it's a pain in the ass. And then when I work out, I wear the same shorts as well. Phone never falls out of my shorts, out of the pocket and everything. So highly suggest them. Great apparel. They're continuing to expand. They hired a new CEO in September. I just got an email from them today. Did a survey. They're gonna did a survey on them on like why I like them and what I like about them and all that. So they're really trying to get out to the consumer to find out what's working for them and what they would like to see. The consumer would like to see change. But so that's what I wear from a shorts perspective. From shirts, I just found this new company, and I'm gonna say it wrong. I think Baleaf. Yeah, no, I think that's right. Baleaf Sports, and it's BALEAF, and their website, their Instagram is Baleaf Sports, at Baleaf Sports, and I got a couple of their long sleeve shirts from Amazon. It was an Amazon suggestion, really nicely priced. It was like $17 for a long sleeve moisture wicking shirt. I got a black, a white, and a gray one, and I really like the way it feels and the fabric on it, and the look and the cleanliness of it, and it's just a good long sleeve shirt. I also use Amazon Essentials. If you go on to Amazon, you can go to Amazon Essentials, just search their Amazon Essentials long sleeve shirts. They have workout shirts in long sleeve. I have about 3 or 4 of them, and they're good quality, and they were like $12 when I bought them, $12 each. For short sleeves, Rockfit, ROKFIT, and then RSP shirts I have. But mostly it's Rockfit and RSP and a couple of Nike shirts. I really like Nike, their shirts and their shoes. And then for shoes, my trainers, Nobull, Nobull. Go to Nobull Project, at Nobull Project. You can see their shoes. I use them for training. So anytime you need like a flat stance when you're working out, whether you're doing deadlifts or squats, that's what I use. And then running, I wear Asics. Everyday shoe, when I'm not at the gym or when I'm walking around, I wear Nike Pegasus. Like I said, I really like Nike from just like an overall walking around wearing shoe. So those are my shoes, my apparel, my watch. I use a Garmin Activit. Yeah, Activit. Is it Activit? What the hell is it? Vivo Active 3 from Garmin. Tracks your workouts. You can download golf courses on it, so it's a GPS. Runs. It's cool. So you can do running inside, treadmill, walking on a treadmill, walking outside, stairs. Like it has everything that you can track from an exercise perspective, which is really cool. Again, I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. The app that I use is FitPlan app. I pay $71 a year for it, and it's unlimited workout plans that you can use. And it's been really great this year to use it, and it helps you really stay on track and accountable, and I've certainly enjoyed it. Where I get all these things from, so where I get RSP, my nutrition, my supplements from, I'll either get it from their website, rspnutrition.com. Bodybuilding.com always has great deals, so I'll go there. Amazon has good deals. I think that's it. I think there's the only really 3 places that I buy it. I told you where I get all my apparel. My shoes, supplements, FitPlan. Yeah. I think that's it. We're getting the year started. 2019. Getting the pod started. First guest of 2019, like I mentioned, is Melissa McCurry. She'll be coming out on Sunday. It will be coming out on Sunday. She's already come by and talked. And then I got a couple other guests coming up that I'm excited to talk to you guys about. And it should be really cool and exciting. So hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay tuned for Sunday. Be safe out there. Happy New Year. And that's all I got for you. So good night, my friends, and good morning, because it's the Thursday podcast. Thursday night podcast. But it's coming out Friday morning. So good morning. Lindsay? Peace. It's 1992 in here. Peace, bro.